I'm Carla Pereira, KC1HSX, and this is ARRL Audio News, your weekly summary of news, features, and opinion from ARRL headquarters in Newington, Connecticut. For listeners who rebroadcast ARRL Audio News on repeaters, listen for the Morse code K character, followed by 4 seconds of silence. That's your cue to momentarily stop transmitting so that your repeater timer can reset. And now, our top stories. Amateur radio will be in the service of science on Monday, August 21st, as a total solar eclipse causes the shadow of the moon to traverse the U.S. from Oregon to South Carolina in a little more than 90 minutes, obscuring the sun completely for a few minutes at any given location along the way. The sudden absence of sunlight is expected to change the properties of the upper atmosphere and have an impact on radio propagation. A few hundred radio amateurs already have registered as participants in the Solar Eclipse QSO Party, a special operating event organized by the Ham Radio Science Citizen Investigation, otherwise known as HAMSCI. HAMSCI's Nathaniel Frisell, W2NAF, said those taking part in the QSO party do not have to be in the path of totality to contribute to the research. Frisell, an assistant research professor at the New Jersey Institute of Technology, said it's easy to be a citizen scientist. Just getting on the air during the QSO party is a first step. Systems such as the Reverse Beacon Network, WhisperNet, and PSK Reporter will automatically hear digital and CW transmissions and report back to their respective databases. 3 HAMSCI-coordinated amateur radio experiments have been designed to study the 2017 solar eclipse. In addition to the solar eclipse QSO party, there is the HF wideband recording experiment and the eclipse frequency measurement test. The HAMSCI wideband recording experiment will attempt to use software-defined radios to capture activity throughout the entire amateur radio HF spectrum from locations across North America. According to Nathaniel Frisell, the recordings will allow for the study of eclipse-induced propagation changes, as well as examining changes in noise levels. The frequency measuring test experiment will provide information about how much and how fast the ionosphere changes in height along a particular path.
Hi, this is Ward Silver, N0AX, talking about preparations for the Solar Eclipse QSO Party. The SEQP will take place from 1400 to 2200 UTC on August 21st. You can operate on the HF bands 160 through 10 meters and 6 meters. No QSOs on the 60, 30, 17, or 12 meter bands, please. Automated receivers will decode and measure CW and digital signals, storing the data for later analysis. And there's been a lot of other preparations as well. If you're going to operate, be sure to enter your station data on the SEQP website, hamsci.org/SEQP. Pre-registration isn't necessary to participate, but it'll help analyze the received data and your log. More than 250 stations have signed up so far, with over a week to go. Speaking of logs, the SEQP is supported by most major logging software. Be sure to update to the latest version before August 21st. There is a manual log entry method listed on the SEQ website too. It'll be useful to know your station's 6-character grid locator. The 6-character locators add 2 letters to a regular grid square for higher resolution, like EM47JW, where I'll be operating. There are links to grid calculator web pages on the SEQP rules page. And speaking of rules, have you read the final version? You can work the same station again after 10 minutes, for example. That's actually a useful thing, especially after the eclipse starts blocking the solar UV in your area. That changes the ionosphere and propagation. There are examples of how to call CQ and make an exchange as well. If you know the rules, you'll have more fun, and the researchers will have better data, which is more fun for them. And fun. Have fun. The SEQP isn't a contest, really. It's a true QSO party. Let's all just get on the air and make contacts. This will be a huge ham radio event, so enjoy it as much as you can. I hope to hear you on the air. It's going to be one of the largest eclipse experiments ever. CQ, SEQP.
For the second year in a row, the ARRL, IARU Region 2, and the Federación Mexicana de Radio Experimentadores have presented the Amateur Radio Administration course in Mexico City. The course was held August 7 through 9 at Mexico City's World Trade Center. The course is intended for people in charge of administering the amateur radio and amateur satellite services within the participants' respective countries. Participants were from Mexico, Colombia, Costa Rica, and Honduras. Among other topics, the course covered the legal framework for amateur radio in the International Telecommunication Union, amateur radio spectrum, reciprocal licensing, emergency communication, and the IARU and its member societies. Other topics of less institutional and regulatory import included de-expeditions, contests, digital communication, and moonbounce communication. The course concluded with a visit to an amateur radio station, where course participants could gain a better understanding of what they had learned in class. They also had the opportunity to get on the air and make some contacts. Over the course of a single day on July 8th, ARRL's Los Angeles Northwest District operators pivoted from a plane crash mass casualty drill to a real major fire response. With the area suffering under record 108-degree heat, the ARRL Los Angeles section's ARRL's Northwest District Emergency Coordinator, Ruzi Mubari, W1EH, had no idea that an actual emergency would erupt just 6 hours after his ARRL's team finished a full-scale mass casualty drill that morning. The mass casualty drill scenario involved numerous hospitals and agencies responding to a private plane crash at a busy freeway junction in the Encino area. ARRL's members deployed to their assigned hospitals by 7 a.m. for the drill, prepared to handle backup communication on hospital utilization and bed availability. Mowbray said the drill provided an excellent example of how ARRL's interfaces with other disaster-focused amateur radio organizations. The real emergency happened about 12 hours later, an explosion and fire at a City of Los Angeles Department of Water and Power 230 kilovolt receiving station in the San Fernando Valley's Northridge area. While firefighters fought the flames, electric power was cut for up to 11 hours to some 147,000 homes and businesses. The 5 hospitals that ARRL's Los Angeles Northwest serves, including Major Trauma Center at Northridge Hospital Medical Center, switched to emergency backup power. ARRL's members quickly established a net, and Mowbray immediately deployed to the 409-bed Northridge Hospital, remaining there until 6 a.m. the next day.
And now with this week's satellite update, here's Bruce Page, KK5DO.
If you enjoy SSTV on HF, you might want to try SSTV on a satellite. AMSAT Operations is bringing back Experimenters Wednesday in UTC time to AO 85. You do not even need to transmit. Simply set up your station to receive on 145.980 megahertz FM and correct for Doppler as the satellite passes over. There should be enough stations desiring to transmit a picture on every pass Wednesdays. On a trial basis, we invite users to exchange pictures using Robot 36 SSTV. Please identify prior to beginning transmissions and only send when the uplink is clear. Stations should only uplink if they have a reasonable expectation of maintaining a full quieting signal for the duration of the image transmission. Please do not transmit questionable or provocative images. If in doubt, pick another one. Expect all ages to be participating. Feedback is encouraged and comments may be directed to Drew, KO4MA, at AMSAT.org. Thanks to Drew, KO4MA, for this story. This is Bruce Page, KK5DO, for the ARRL Audio News.
ARRL Audio News is proud to announce the debut of our Extra Edition service. Extra Editions are longer, uninterrupted audio segments devoted to particular topics. They will be posted on the audio news page on the web at www.arrl.org/ARRL-audio-news. Just go to the page and then scroll down to the Audio News Extra Edition. You can listen to the audio online or download the Extra Edition to your computer or other device. Our first Extra Edition is an interview with amateurs in Williamson County, Texas, who've constructed a microwave backbone system to link several local hospitals and key ARRL sites. More Extra Editions will be posted as time allows, so be sure to check back occasionally for new items.
And now the ARRL Audio News propagation forecast for August 18th, 2017. We have another sunspot rotating into view, and this one is a doozy. It's more than tripled in size since it first appeared, and it has at least a dozen dark cores. The folks at NASA say this could set the stage for some significant solar flares. In the meantime, we still can't catch a break from the strong solar winds. By the time you hear this broadcast, we'll be suffering from the impact of particles flowing from a large coronal hole in the northern half of the sun. As usual, HF frequencies above 40 meters will see the greatest disruption. Closer to home, there is a cold front moving across the United States and a tropical storm off the eastern seaboard. This being the case, amateurs on VHF and UHF should be on the lookout for major band openings due to tropospheric ducting in the Midwest and along the East Coast.
And that concludes ARRL Audio News for this week. Our thanks to all contributors to this week's report. ARRL Audio News is produced by the American Radio Relay League, the National Association for Amateur Radio. For more information on amateur radio or the ARRL, visit us on the web at arrl.org. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by searching for ARRL. If you have a question or comment about ARRL Audio News, email us at audionews@arrl.org. This program is copyright ARRL, all rights reserved. 73, and thanks for listening.